Claudia has a question also, a recent graduate who was with Cindy's group that she hosted. She says, during the 2 weeks between the blood tests that take place during the program, my cholesterol numbers were actually up. Why is that? Could it be indicative of a blockage?
No. What happens is in a blood test, let's take everyone out of the awe of blood tests, is that you're getting a snapshot of what's happening in the blood serum. The blood serum is the river that flows through our bloodstream, or through our veins, I should say, in ventricles, and literally carry cells. And those cells go to certain places to create organs in your body, to flush toxins and poisons out, to hydrate the body, providing you're not one of the 60% that do not have adequate amounts of healthy fluid every day in your diet. And so all of that is what the bloodstream is. But on the other hand, when you start to have higher numbers, what it shows is that she had lodged in organs of her body and ventricles of her body cholesterols and fats. Once we started to emulsify them through living properly, they went into the bloodstream. Voila, we take a needle, pull out blood, and we find higher amounts of cholesterol there. That makes a whole lot of sense. Now, many other people, and the majority, by the way, reverse it. And that's because they didn't have as deep-seated cholesterol in their system as Cindy did. And so this is not uncommon, and as time goes on, as listeners may know, we have generally a 50-point drop in cholesterol during the 3-week program. But there's always 10 to 20% of our guests that have a little bit higher incidence of this. And it's okay, because if you maintain the lifestyle within a matter of 6 months, everyone will have balanced cholesterol levels.
Thank you.
Okay, awesome. And Judy wants to know, in what ways does the Hippocrates diet help with the thyroid to avoid health issues?
Well, why women are having such a massive thyroid problem today is because of environmental estrogen that come from the obvious pesticides, fungicides, and herbicides, but from the less obvious polyester clothes and man-made fibers and all of the formaldehyde that's even sprayed on, quote, natural fiber clothes, and all the fire retardants from when you were a child, and all the chemicals in our drinking water and all the pollutants in our air. These create what the body perceives as estrogens. And because an estrogen is a hormone, it takes the hormonally sensitive and hormonally active gland, the thyroid, and starts to completely overwork it. And that's why thyroid problems are such a high degree. So again, when you're on the Hippocrates Living Food Program, the purest and most nutritious diet on the planet Earth, you clean out all of those. You stop putting all of those in, because we don't only speak about diet, as everyone knows here. We tell you to get natural underwear. We tell you to wear non-toxic natural fiber clothes. We tell you to exercise the body to make sure that those additional pollutants come out several times faster than they would without the exercise. We tell you to take saunas. We tell you to drink adequate amounts of water. We give you therapies and treatment that greatly expedite this process of elimination. And with all of that, that's how directly and indirectly over a period of time it helps to rid the body of the problem. Now, that doesn't mean just by eating this way, 100% of women with thyroid problems are going to correct it. We also have a product called Pinnacle for people who have either active thyroid problems, or we see they're on their way to thyroid problems because over the years they've done all the wrong things and lived on this very sick planet we live on. They already show the signs of going to have a collapse of the thyroid, and it is said in medical circles, when none of you are listening, that every woman is going to eventually have a thyroid problem, no matter who you are, because we've had such pollutants over the years. And although now you may be living properly, you didn't for many years. So we again give Pinnacle, which is a major, major, major nutritional support for those who may have a thyroid problem or live in a major city or under stress or do have an active thyroid problem. Is that enough? Not in every case. People who do have active thyroid problems, we may also say to them that we also have to give some exceptional amount of herb to them. And in some cases, by the way, it's unfortunate that we actually have people who have been on Synthroid, which has a major impact in case after case of cardiovascular disease and even cancer. And we can't just pull you off the Synthroid that you've been on for years. We may have to replace that with even a less vile pharmaceutical medicine. And the objective is, and you can achieve this in 8 out of 10 cases, we slowly then take you off the less vile pharmaceutical and hopefully can get you to be one of the 8 out of 10 that eventually move on to a Chinese herbal complex with that. So as you see, there are 3 variations on what you would do with thyroid, but listen closely. It's not only a female problem, but why females have much higher thyroid problems than men is because you're far more hormonally active. You have the ability to create another human being. And because of that, God gave you, nature gave you so many hormones, so many communicators in your body, and that's what a hormone is, that's why you are more sensitive and hypersensitive to have these type of problems in glands.
Very good, thanks. Tirza asked the following question. I have cancer and I have been doing the Budwick quark flaxseed oil combination. I'm impressed by what I read of her theory and the success this seems to bring, but I'm very concerned about dairy.
Well, you should be. Let's reveal the Budwick myth, because this is a myth. Budwick did some very vague research, as I recall, in the 1930s or 40s, and the little booklet that's out called the Budwick Diet was literally excerpts from a lecture she did, as I recall, in Switzerland, where she said in that lecture, because I read the transcript several years ago, that this is a theory, I hadn't practiced it, long-term clinical research hasn't been done. Now, let's look at that and start to think, how much concrete information is there for somebody to proceed out of a lecture that she even admittedly in the lecture said, I'm not sure this works. Well, that's the beginning. Number 2, I think since the 1940s we've learned an awful lot more about what's good for you with cancer and what's not good for you. As an example, when I began my work 4 decades ago, we didn't know sugar-fed cancer. And 30 years ago, wisely, Hippocrates took all forms of sugar out of everyone's diet who has cancer, including fruits, including carrot juice, including beet juice. And from that day forth, we've had many thousand more people recover from cancer and prevent it than we would have when we were feeding cancer with sugar. We've also learned that the number 1 dietary cause of growing cancer tumors is dairy. And I don't care if it's organic raw dairy, I don't care if it's homogenized dairy, all of that has a protein in it called casein, including this cheese that you're eating. And casein, by the way, has been found by the top nutritional scientists in history, not only are living today in history, who's done the most research in history, to be the number 1 cause of cancerous tumors. We haven't given dairy to anyone here for 53 years. We've had more people recover from cancer and other diseases here at Hippocrates than any organization or institute on the planet Earth. And so I don't know why anyone would take excerpts out of a talk that was done 60 years ago and think it's good. Now, where she was right, nobody's all wrong. Well, some people are, but she was certainly right in flax. She was 60 years ahead of most people in flax. We're just now revealing the benefit of flax. But that's not odd for a European. My wife's a European. And in Europe, linseed, which is flaxseed, has been a known herbal complex and component in healing for millennia, forever. And so her using that and understanding it at the deep level she did, let's applaud Budwick. But please get off that immediately unless you want more cancer.
Hi, this is Cindy one last time to remind you of a great opportunity for you or a loved one to do the 3-week Life Change program with us as part of a group. In addition to saving hundreds of dollars, you get some other great benefits. For more details, visit www.hippocratesgroupsavings.com. We have groups scheduled for the rest of this year. For the exact dates, visit www.hippocratesgroupsavings.com. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to talk to you soon.